It was supposed to be a normal family dinner. At the table, Emeka and Grace, a happily married couple, and Cynthia, Grace's childhood friend who came to the city in search of a job. As they were eating and chatting, talking about work and how the day went as usual, all of a sudden, Cynthia feels a sharp pain in her tummy. Before you know it, she fell to the floor vomiting. Let's take a step back to where it all began.
Grace and Cynthia grew up together in Umudike village. Same compound, same school, same everything. Grace's dad was Pastor Ibe, who preached every Sunday at the village church. Cynthia's mother, Ezine, sold beer at the beer parlor. Men came day and night because Ezine had a big backside. Men stared at her like dogs staring at a bone. Their wives accused Ezi of trying to take their husbands away from them. She would laugh. "I no force your husband to follow me." The two girls were best friends. They fetched water, played together, shared one mango and fought over the seed. One dry season, a handsome boy came to the village, Emeka, wearing clean shoes and a Lagos accent. He smiled like the sunshine. He came to the village to visit his sick grandma. At the stream, Cynthia saw him first. "Grace, that boy, I like him well. Pray he notices me." Grace laughed. "I pray, if he chooses you, I'll dance at your wedding." But Emeka didn't look at Cynthia. He had eyes on Grace. Grace was selling tomatoes for her mom when Emeka passed by and bumped into her basket. "Sorry," he exclaimed. She replied softly, "No problem." He bought all her tomatoes, even the bad ones, and paid double. Next week he came again, bought pepper, bought onions, and Grace's smile. They started walking home together, talking big dreams. Grace said, "I want to open the biggest fashion shop in Lagos. I will teach village girls to sew. No one will laugh at us again." Emeka stopped. "From this small village, you dream really big." He fell in love that day. Cynthia heard about their relationship from the market women. Her heart burned with anger and the feeling of betrayal, but she said nothing. Grace told her everything, even shared Emeka's sweet words. She hugged Grace, smiling, saying, "I'm happy for you, my friend." But deep down, she was crying fire. One day, as the two girls discussed their future plans, Cynthia said, "My dream's small, though. I just want to take over Mama's beer parlor. Men will troop in to buy drinks and I will count plenty money." Grace believed her. One evening, under the mango tree, Emeka knelt. "Grace, marry me." Grace cried, "I can't. Cynthia likes you. She told me first. I no fit betray my sister." Emeka was sad, but he waited. That night, Cynthia came with groundnuts. Grace told her everything. Cynthia smiled, hugged her, then she asked, "Do you love him?" "Yes, I do," Grace replied, hesitating. "Then marry him. You have my blessings." Grace jumped up in excitement. "I will never forget this kindness." But Cynthia went home, opened a small bottle her mother had given it to her for emergency, Ezine said. 5 years later, Grace and Emeka got married. They were happy. Grace's shop, Grace Culture, now big in Lagos. Emeka built roads and bridges. No child yet, but they were trying. Then one day, Cynthia called. "I'm coming to Lagos for a job interview. I will stay with Joy, another of her friends." Grace said, "No, come stay with us. Emeka travels a lot. I miss you." Cynthia agreed. When Cynthia arrived, Grace welcomed her with a big hug. They shared laughter, wine, and food together. They had a lot of villages till midnight. Grace slept happy. Cynthia stayed awake, staring at the ceiling. You took my life. Now I am going to take yours. As Grace was looking for a job for Cynthia, Cynthia stayed home and took care of the house. One evening, she cooked dinner, egusi soup. She poured poison in Grace and Emeka's pot, served herself from a clean plate. As they ate and talked about work, Cynthia waited. Nothing happened. She called her mom. "Mama, the poison no work, oh." Ezine said, "You use small. Next time, pour everything." 2 weeks later, Grace cooked okra soup, Emeka's favorite. As they sat to eat, Emeka begged his wife, "Baby, bring cold water." As Grace stood up, Cynthia jumped. "I'll get it." She walked to the kitchen slowly, heart beating fast. She thought to herself, "When I come back, they will be on the floor." She returned. They were still eating, smiling. She opened her plate, took one spoon, then her stomach caught fire. Cynthia fell, vomiting. Then she screamed, "Grace, you stole Emeka. I poisoned you twice. Why aren't you dead?" Grace cried. "Cynthia, why?" Emeka pointed to the ceiling. A small camera, hidden. He said, "I knew from the first day. I smelled the poison and threw the food away. The dogs ate it and they died. Today, I switched the pots. You poisoned yourself." 1 week later, Cynthia didn't die as she recovers in the hospital with her mother sitting beside her. Then the police came and arrested her. In court, they played the video. The judge sentenced her to 15 years in prison. But that wasn't the worst part. Grace went to the prison. She met Cynthia wearing orange, thin, red eyes and a shadow of her former self. Grace dropped a photo of 2 little girls smiling, holding one mango. On the back, Grace wrote, "You poisoned our friendship. Now live with the taste." Cynthia cried, banged the glass, but Grace walked away. No tears, no goodbye.
Ezine's beer parlor closed. Men stopped coming. Her big hips now carried shame.
Grace's fashion school, bigger than ever. She trained village girls for free, named one class Cynthia Room. So every girl would read, "Jealousy kills the jealous, revenge buries the bitter." Cynthia in prison, counting days, counting regrets, counting the spoons of bitter soup she would never forget. Jealousy didn't kill Grace. Revenge didn't save Cynthia. It locked her in a cage forever.